All right, so a lot of people want me to weigh in on whether or not Shaun Clarida, the Giant Killer, can win the 2024 EVLS Prague Pro. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Strength Addicts on all social media platforms, powered by IML. Make your mark with Iron Meg Labs. Visit ironmeglabs.com today. And I'm making this video Halloween night. It's raining outside, but I would know because I'm in my bunker office here in J-Town. But let me weigh in. Number one, kudos to Shaun for going public with his new coach, BossOfOutlaw, same coach that prepared my man, my hero, no, not Jesus, Martin Fitzwater. But just because he's done right by Martin and many other bodybuilders does not mean that he's going to do right by Shaun. That's nothing against Stefan. It's just to say that, look, Shaun is 42 years of age. He's worked with Matt Jansen exclusively. And now, you know, he didn't have a good outing at the Olympia per him, but he really did. He took second. He looked phenomenal. They tried something, it didn't work. They tried something last year, it didn't work. It's trial and error. It is what it is. It's bodybuilding, right? But in any event, kudos to them, Shaun and Stefan, for saying, look, we're going to get together, but we're not going to wait for the Arnold or the New York Pro or next year's Olympia. Let's do a contest now. Let's see what we can do now. You got the Prague show, you've got Romania, and you've got the Last Man Standing or the Big Man, whatever that show is. There's 3 shows left in 2024, and Shaun's doing one of them. Hell, Shaun could do all 3 of them. At this point, you know, he's probably going to place well. Is he going to win? Who cares? Like I said, look, Prague is not an important show. And I put this in my article for Iron Magazine. Now, before the EVLS people come down on your boy here at Strength Addicts, I'm not saying that it's not an important show in the sense that, hey, it's a piece of crap show, or it doesn't have a good lineup, it doesn't have good production value. I'm not saying that at all. It is a good show. It does have great production value. It does have good competitors in there. It is just not the Olympia. It is not the Arnold Classic. So therefore, it is not an important show along those lines. It is not the New York Pro. It's not the first biggest show, the second biggest show, or the third biggest show. It is a pro show, okay? It is also significant because Shaun, by virtue of being a previous year's, or a previous, in general, 212 Mr. Olympia, I believe is qualified for life. And even if he's not, by taking second place at the 2024 212 Olympia Showdown, will be automatically qualified. There is not the pressure of him doing the Olympia, the Arnold, or the New York Pro. There is not the pressure of him having to qualify. There is not the pressure of him having to, you know, win for money or whatever. So basically, it is a perfect situation for him to see what Stefan can do and for Stefan to see what Shaun can do. It's a great time for them to see kind of like what they need to do. And they can try it again in Romania. And they can try it again at that, whatever show that is, the Last Man Standing show. I don't know the name of the show. I don't mean to say the whatever show. Look, and here's the thing. Shaun has competed and won before at open shows like the Reno Sports Festival. Now, granted, he was up against Sergio Oliva Jr., who's a great bodybuilder, but he's not, I mean, I wouldn't say he's number 4 in the world like Martin Fitzwater. And there was the Canadian guy. I cannot remember his name to save my life. He doesn't do well at the Olympia, you know, and I cannot believe I forgot his name. He went to Kuwait. He's good friends with Jay. I can't remember his name, but it doesn't matter because the point is that Shaun beat guys that were a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier, and he had no problem doing it. He is a bona fide, legitimate giant killer. However, at the Prague show, he's going to be up against Martin Fitzwater. He's going to be up against a lot of people, but Martin Fitzwater right now is number 4 in the world. And I'm so happy to say that because I've always been a fan of his, and he got redemption in Las Vegas, Nevada. They didn't do a single promo poster for him, not one. And he took 4th in the world. And then Shaun is also up against Chris Bumstead, the GOAT of classic physique, the winningest classic physique pro. Now, he's going to be hard to beat, but this is not a classic physique show. This is a bodybuilding show. So I think Shaun could beat Bumstead. And I think Shaun could beat Fitzwater. Could. Will he? Probably not. But it's not about that, right? It's about seeing what he can do with Stefan. I mean, look, in my opinion, what would be a bigger win? Shaun taking the W and them really not being any more familiar with each other than they are now, or Shaun taking 5th, making a few mistakes, Stefan making a few mistakes, fixing those mistakes, both of them, bouncing back, that is so much more valuable, in my opinion, than getting a W. The point of doing this show, in my opinion, would be for those guys to learn about each other. And you know what would be great is if Stefan actually was with Shaun at the show. Maybe bunked with Shaun. Kind of like throwing it old school, like Trey Hodge used to do with Charles the Tank Dixon. They used to have bed by bed, side by side, all the meals, all the poses. They were inseparable, like white on rice. Inseparable. Now, I don't know if that's the game plan, but then again, it can't be because, you know, Stefan's got other clients like Martin Fitzwater, so Shaun can't have him 24/7. But then again, it could be like Chris Aceto. You know, Chris Aceto has been known to bounce around hotel rooms and make sure that he sees all of his clients. There's a little plug for Chris there. He's a really, really good coach. So maybe that's what he does. Or maybe he'll do what, you know, other coaches have done, where they, you know, will talk to the guy over Zoom or something. Not the first class treatment, in my opinion. But in any event, I guess we will see what happens. But like I wrote in my article for Iron Magazine, even though, which may come out Halloween night, may come out All Saints Day, which is November 1st, the Day of the Dead. But, you know, even though it's not the Arnold, even though it's not the New York Pro, even though it's not the Olympia, even though he doesn't have to requalify, even though there's a lot less stress on him, the stress is still on Stefan, because I believe that guys like Shaun, guys like Nick, those two in particular, more so than anyone else, you know, when they get with a successor coach, if that coach cannot do for them what Matt did, I think they'll go back to Matt. So while there isn't a lot of pressure on Shaun, I do think there's a lot of pressure on Stefan. And I think that this is a great thing they're doing a smaller show right after the... But that's the other thing. Shaun's not going to look dramatically better than the Olympia, because the Olympia was only a couple of weeks ago. You know, 2 or 3 weeks ago by the time he gets on stage in Prague. But it's, like I said, this is not about Shaun winning. It's not about these virtual, like, you know, showdowns and virtual comparisons or whatever. That's not what I think this show is all about for Shaun. Of course he wants to win. Of course he's going in with a no plan B mentality. But I think that the purpose of this show should be for the coach and the client to learn about each other and maybe do it again in Romania, maybe do it again for that last man, whatever show standing. If I was Shaun, I would skip the Arnold Classic. It would be a mistake for him to do the Open Arnold and, you know, do Prague, maybe the other 2 shows after it, and then just, you know, hunker down. You own your own gym. My goodness, that's amazing. And then just work closely with Stefan and use whatever you learned in Prague and whatever, you know, you've learned from this past Olympia to get you to the best Shaun Clarida possible for the 2025 212 Olympia Showdown, where he may very well take it away from Keon Pearson. Only time will tell. Wishing Shaun and Stefan the absolute best for Prague. I hope you guys make a lot of mistakes and you learn from them, because that's the only way you're going to learn, is through mistakes. These perfect preps where everything is firing on all cylinders, there's no bumps in the road, very unrealistic, highly unrealistic. I want you to make mistakes in Prague. I want there to be mishaps in Prague. I want to see how Stefan fixes them. I also want to see how much Shaun adheres to Stefan's protocols, training, nutrition, supplementation, rest, hydration, because that's the other thing. You know, Shaun is going to have to listen to Stefan the same way he listened to Matt. That doesn't just happen overnight, guys. It doesn't.